Laura here for MTV News. Miley, Cyrus, how are you?
Great, thank you. Hot, as we said.
Hot, I know, and we're inside in an air-conditioned room.
Yeah, not too bad. I had them turn them off because I'm always freezing inside and then burning up as soon as you go outside.
The extremes.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to London.
Thank you.
It's been a while since we've heard from you musically. Is it good to be back?
Yeah, everyone has been so supportive so far. I mean, especially with Can't Stop. The video has been going insane. It's at like 80 million or something crazy so far, and when we get to 100 million, we're gonna put out an even crazier director's cut. So I'm trying to keep it going.
Hold on, there's something crazier than that.
Yeah, we had to edit a lot for like a 2.5
What did you
minute.
edit?
Well, actually, the UK made us edit a bunch, which
okay.
You can see kind of the more scandalous version online. But we have some scenes that didn't get used because it's kind of so much going on. We just filmed, we just partied and they filmed, and so there's so much that we didn't get to use that we wanna try to use that to amp everyone up to watch it even more than they already have.
Well, you certainly have amped it up. Within the first 24 hours, something like 10.7 million. You bet Justin Bieber is the most watched within 24 hours.
Yeah, I beat the record. That feels good.
That feels good. Is it anything to say to Justin Bieber? I mean, he's kind of the man at the moment, but you just bet him. Actions
speak louder than words. So I was stoked because that was the first time that I had really had to have people like trust my vision and just say, I know you guys may not get it, like on paper this isn't making any sense, and it kind of just had to be like a leap of faith, just know that it was going to come out right, because it's something you just have to hope that everyone really shows up and kind of has fun. You can't really like plan it, just like a good party. It doesn't really matter where you are, it can go either way, it's just about the people you're around. So it had to be right.
Well, it's perfect. It's not even out that long, it's already been nominated for 3 Video Music Awards, the MTV Video Music Awards. That's a pretty big honor.
I'm so stoked, just because me and Diane, we really had to kind of not go to war with this video, but we just had to get people to trust us, because it all had to be done with like good faith. Just say, I promise you on the day it's going to turn out. So that feels good, because now people they know they can trust me, and they know I'm on to something.
I read somewhere that you said with this album coming out now quite soon, that you wanted to be treated nearly as a new artist, that it was kind of like a new... Is that true? Is this kind of for you? Is this like, I'm a new artist coming out now?
Yeah, that's kind of why I really wanted to go to every radio station I could and meet with as many people as I could, so I could kind of play the music and explain what I'm doing firsthand. And that's what new artists have to do. They don't get to start out with 13 million followers or whatever, so they have to build themselves up and get people to get to know them. So now I'm lucky because I don't have to do that part, but I want to continue to grow that 13 million and continue to get even more video nominations in the future. So I'm kind of treating it as a new artist too, rather than just that I already know what to do.
Well, you're doing pretty well for a new artist.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the album that is still not titled yet.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is yourself?
I know what it is. I just can't tell anyone.
Okay, that's the one thing I've heard today. Everyone's like, ask her again. She's been asked loads of times. She won't tell you.
It's partly because the anticipation is what's made everyone go and buy We Can't Stop right away. People bought the song on iTunes just out of me not putting anything out for 2 years. So I feel like the more people don't know, the more they want it.
Let's talk about the album, people you worked with. You worked with Pharrell, will.i.am, Snoop Lion, formerly known as
Snoop Dogg. Yeah.
How does that come about? Do you kind of have a list of people, these are the people I want to work with, or how do you decide who you're going to work with?
Pharrell was the first thing that I said, just because that was kind of me at that point. This is before Blurred Lines and Get Lucky was out, so this is where he had kind of had radio silence for a second, because he was just coming up with this new sound. Also, he was kind of reinventing himself and getting even more involved than he was with fashion and taking himself to a whole nother brand, which is what I've been wanting to do. So when him and I got together, and I kind of, at first, I just wanted to be it was just me locked with him. I kind of want to be, because I feel protected by him, because he's a big bro, so I feel like it's a whole different vibe when we're in the studio.
Yeah. So
I kind of got stuck in there with him, and then once me and Mike Will got together and started working on We Can't Stop, the record just got even crazier. So these collaborations have been insane.
I want to talk about a few of the other songs. We were very lucky to listen to a few of the other songs on the album. 4x4 with Nelly. It's kind of described as a country dance. Would that make sense?
Yeah,
can I say that?
Hood country, if you
hood
can
country,
imagine.
Okay. Tell me about working with Nelly.
He was awesome, just because I think I wanted to show people how many people I have on my side, and so many people rooting for me, and almost kind of passing the torch to me and kind of giving me the green light. And I just have made so many friends in this, and Nelly is he's one of those guys that even though he's been doing this forever, he loves being in the studio, as many takes as he needs to do to make sure like you're happy and whatever. And I love people like that, because I'm gonna only make music because I love it forever, and we have such a great life that you should enjoy being in the studio. That's the easy part of making a record. It's all the traveling afterwards that's hard.
When you're in the studio for so long making a record, is it good, because you have been away from the music for so long, do you like kind of getting back out there, meeting everyone and having people hear the music, having been in the studio for so long?
Yeah, I'm in the studio now for like 2 years, pretty much every day, and we work like all night. So I'm now, it's exhausting what I'm doing right now, but I obviously, like, I want people to hear my music, and I want people to kind of know why the record is the way it is, and I love talking about who I've gotten to work with, so I'm excited. You
mentioned there, like, your friends and so many people on your side. You know, you write lots of songs. You've had someone write a song and name check you, only Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Did you know about that beforehand, or were you just like listening going, hey, that's
no,
my name?
I knew about that night. Pharrell actually had hit me. He was like, Jay-Z wants to call you and tell you that he's like shouting you out in a song tomorrow. And then I was in Miami. I was doing like crazy press for my record, so it came out I was in Miami, so we got to go out and hear it for the first time in the club, and it was fun.
And recently, last week at Wireless Festival, we talked to Waka Flocka Flame, who you're working with.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about so many people you're working with.
I know, we're trying to get in the studio right now, me and Waka. He's kind of just been, again, like one of the dudes that's just been like so supportive. So I'm trying to help him out while he's got his record coming out next, because my record I just finished up, so I'm probably going to jump on one of his records.
Do you think as an artist, because you have been doing this for so long, for someone so young, working with these different people, it has kind of changed your sound, and it kind of makes you, because even looking at the songs already that we've listened to, there's such a range of sounds that you're working with. Is that because of people you're working with, or is that just your own musical influences changing?
It's definitely like a kind of a mixture. Like, I know who to go to for certain sounds. Like, Pharrell has his own sound that is very him. When it comes on the radio, you immediately know that it's him.
It's Pharrell,
And that's the same thing with Mike Will, is he's got a sound that's like really young, especially him being 23. It just makes him kind of have this sound that is like fearless, just because he's young. And I think, I've definitely been inspired by them, but they've also been inspired by me. And so it's just kind of a mixture of the sounds. I think that's what's making this record sound so like different. It's got such a cool combination.
It is an amazing song. I want to talk about a few of the other songs. I know you said that Drive is one of your personal favorites.
Yeah.
Would you say that's your favorite on the album?
I think it might be my favorite on the record, because it's kind of a mixture of what I'm doing, a little more hip hop, but it's still what it's saying. Like, the lyrics are something that I really wanted to say, and I think it just has like a good energy to it, because it's a ballad, but it doesn't necessarily feel like a ballad.
Yeah,
it's kind of one of those cool mids, which even Can't Stop, for being a first single, it's different than most people come out with just that up tempo first off, trying to get people in the club. But I think that's a song that could go both ways. But
it's one of those songs that's catchy. Like, it's been like, as soon as you hear it, it's in your head all day.
Good.
Another song I want to talk about is Wrecking Ball. Tell me about Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball is another one of those ones that's like, I know it's going to be hard, because people are like speculate so much about, kind of go through and dissect all your words and your lyrics and try to know exactly what it's about. And sometimes a song is just a song, but then sometimes it is about something that's really hard. And so it's one of those ones that I think it's gonna be crazy, because I think girls everywhere especially are gonna relate to that song so much. There's not one person in the world that hasn't felt that feeling at one point. And so I think that's one of those ones that's just gonna get played over and over again.
You mentioned there about when you're working with different people, how you both kind of inspire each other, and even just coming into this hotel today, there's so many people outside who just aspire to be like you, and you've got so many fans. Who do you look up to? Like, I read once that you thought you were Little Kim in another life.
Yeah, that's only my ass's thought.
Okay.
Dolly is my she's my fairy godmother.
Yeah.
And so she kind of inspires me, just because I think it's important that no matter what, you always treat people with respect, which is her number one rule. And then, second, put everything you have into your music. And just, she's an amazing person. And I think there's a reason, karmically, in a greater universe, that there's a reason why she's done so much. And I think it's because of the way that she is, just as a human. She doesn't have to be like Dolly Parton to have that kind of magic about her. It's just like a thing that kind of radiates off of her.
Miley, you are taking over the world right now. Another band I have to mention, another act, are One Direction, because you can't go anywhere without hearing One Direction.
Especially here.
Were you stalking Zayn for a while? What was that about?
I definitely was not. I only said he was cute because someone asked me, and I felt
never
like
say anything, and
I
then
was going to get tomatoes thrown at me in the UK if I didn't say I had a crush on one of them.
Okay, so just pick one.
So I just had to pick one, and I just know that I've heard a lot of gay boys talk about Zayn, so that's how I know what he looks like.
He's got really good hair as well.
Yeah, he's got great hair. One of my best gay friends has him as his background on his phone, so that's how I know who he is.
Okay, let's talk about your style, because you've made such an obvious change from maybe a few years ago. Is that something that's very important to you? Because you said Pharrell he's gotten into fashion now. Is fashion something that you're going to get into quite a lot as well?
Yeah, like I've always been into it. Like as a kid, I didn't really care as much because I think I had to be a character so much. I didn't know really what my personal style was, and I think you take time and you get involved, and I've had such a close relationship now with so many amazing designers that really help me kind of know what's going to be coming up next.
Because you've had, you had a background in acting, and when you're an actress, you have to be someone, in the past and movies that you've made. Is it fun then just to be Miley, and then you can do what you want to do?
Yeah, it's much more fun. So it's much more fun to get dressed, especially you get it as PU, and I don't love like all the touching all the time, like bitsing. Like I just think people need to like just live, and I think that's what was important about the Can't Stop video is it didn't look so like made in a machine that just knew it was going to work. You could tell that it was a risk. And
the Can't Stop video, is that just like a normal night out for Miley? Is that just so you hang around with your friends? Is that what goes on?
Yeah, it was all inspired by true events. Everyone wants to now party with me because they see that we're all like crazy.